Welcome to the Intelligent Pharma Minute. This is the ninth edition, and I'm recording this live from Jacksonville, Florida. The show is sponsored by XLM Continuous TV. My goal is to convert mundane GXP process into fun, intelligent minutes. Okay, let's go. Show me your pull request, and I'll tell you why that question is now a trap. All right, gather around compliance nerds and code cowboys. Today we are talking about the four most terrifying words in any GXP audit. Not your kappa is overdue, not let's discuss data integrity. No, the real horror movie line is show me your code review process. Believe me, I have at least audited 100 technology companies, software companies all over the globe. Honestly, this is correct. For 20 years, we all had the same answer ready. You'd pull up a screenshot of a GitHub or an Azure DevOps pull request, two human approvers, a checklist, a signature. You'd smile like you just aced an exam. Well, grab your coffee because I have bad news for that screenshot. It's obsolete. And here is the plot twist. Pretending it still works creates more compliance risk than it removes. Here is the thing nobody wants to say out loud at the quality meeting. Code isn't really written by humans anymore. AI agents write it. AI agents test it. AI agents deploy it and regression test it. The whole fantasy of one wise engineer reading a diff on Monday morning over coffee, that engineer is drowning. The diffs are too big and coming too fast. The bottleneck didn't get better, it broke. So what do? We stop asking the PR to certify that code is correct. We start asking it to certify that the code is within our risk thresholds. Say it with me. We are moving from certifying correctness to certifying risk. Segment 1, the 4 jobs. Let me talk about the 4 jobs. So a pull request was secretly doing 4 jobs this whole time, like an overlooked intern. Let's fire 2 of them and promote the others. Job 1, correctness. Used to be your big go, no-go moment. Now it's handled upstream by a controlled PRD and downstream by automated test loops. It's off the guest list. Job 2, knowledge transfer. So that's how the e-signature module works. Turns out an AI agent doesn't need to learn from the diff. So that knowledge has to live somewhere else now. Design docs, continuous context graphs. Fancy. Job 3, risk visibility. This one is definitely load bearing. This is a job that keeps the whole house standing. The PR now has to act like a telescope, pointing at exactly where the danger is. And job 4, accountability. A human still signs off on policy and release decisions because when the FDA comes knocking, an AI agent cannot, in fact, go to jail. Yeah, comforting, right? Now, the segment 2, the fun part. Now, here is where it gets spicy. Instead of a boring binary pass or fail, risk becomes a dial, turned up or down across dimensions like security, data integrity, API contracts. And the system spawns specialized reviewer agents, one per risk dimension running in parallel. Picture a little squad of paranoid robots, each obsessed with their own doom scenario. But my favorite part, the chef's kiss, what I call adversarial self-challenge. Each reviewer agent has to try to prove itself wrong. It has to argue against its own findings. It's basically an AI that has to survive its own cross-examination before it's allowed to file a complaint. The output isn't a rubber stamp, it's a risk map, a picture exactly where the risk crossed the line. Let's talk about segment 3, the regulatory tie-in. Here is the kicker for the regulatory crowd. I argue this is the most faithful implementation of the FDA's CSA guidance at the code level. CSA has been begging us for years to stop testing everything equally and instead put our effort where the risk lives. Risk-based PRs finally do that with automated, evidence-backed gates. It's all in a reference architecture with the most metal name in compliance history, the continuous dark factory, which we have built at XLN. Code generation bound to a signed-off requirements dark, every PR and test and risk maps stored in a tamper-proof, audit defensible archive, and humans reserved for the high-value judgment calls. So here's your takeaway. Write this on a sticky note. The future audit does not care about 2 signatures on a pull request. Tomorrow's inspector wants to see your risk threshold policy, your qualified review harness, and how you adjudicated the breaches. Pharma IT, the two signature ritual is on a borrowed timeline. Vendors, your competitive edge is now an evidence archive you can show an inspector without breaking into a sweat. And auditors, sharpen your questions because the old ones just got a lot easier to fake. If your code review process is still a screenshot and a prayer, start building your telescope. I'll see you next week.